Hills and Faces right here on Undefined Radio. You got Jay Lone Wolf, you got Big Daddy Storm. It's been a while. We have been busy as crap.
Yeah.
Because we have to do this during the day. That's why y'all see us doing this show early. Andy plays a lot. Now he plays on different days. So we're trying to get it all situated. And I'm busy during the day a lot. We're going to try to get back regularly with y'all because we have a lot of people saying they miss Hills and Faces. Yeah. I know Chance does.
Yeah.
We know Blackie does.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get back. We're going to try to get back on the schedule for you guys as much as humanly possible. Tuesday seems like the best day for us.
It
looks
really
like
is because I'm off now on Mondays and Tuesdays, and the rest of the time I'm doing doubles.
So Tuesday's maybe the day we just say this is our Hills and Faces day.
Unless something happens, I got a meeting or something.
That's right.
Like that. Yeah.
So when we can, we're going to try to bring this to you as often as possible. I don't know what.
Because I missed it.
I know because we haven't. There's a lot of stuff we haven't got to talk about and discuss on air.
No,
we always talk when we're working out and stuff like that. We don't get to talk about this on the air. People miss all the juicy stuff we get to say. About some of the BS that goes on out and around.
Lord,
and there's a lot of it.
It is,
folks. There's a lot of it. You heard us talk about it. So we did on Bottom Card Booking last night. Had Tommy Too Good on the show, and we were kind of talking some things. So I'm going to piggyback some of our conversation kind of off of what we were talking about last night. Okay, because I really want various opinions on this whole thing, this whole issue that's kind of come up with the. I'll tell the story again for those of you who just did not happen to see it and see us talking about it the other day. So we did the Juneteenth event.
Yes.
Right. We did Juneteenth. And great show. They were very welcoming, dude. It was great. Because your perception of it's one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And what you're told it's going to be like, dude, you got to be careful. You know how people
are. I know.
It's into the world stuff. You gotta be. It can be further from that. We had the best time. The people treated us great, like we were family. That's how we were treated, pretty much across the board.
That's cool.
Except for a couple folks, one in particular that I thought was gonna have to bite it.
I've heard, and yes, I'm eager to chime in on this.
So for those of you who didn't hear, we get done wrestling. Our part of the show is over. We're leading into the night's events. We're the setup event for the night's events.
Yeah.
We were on from 5 to 6. Son, we did our thing. It was hot, and that's the second show we did out in the heat that day.
Yeah.
All right. So we were tired. We were hot. We had a big thing, and we didn't hold anything back. We wrestled just like we would in an air conditioned building. I mean, we were going, and we had a lot of people watching. It was a ton of people.
Yeah.
So we're done. I'm going back to my chair to sit down and get my inhaler and try to breathe. I ain't even lying. It was tough. Yeah. And we've been scattered because we've been walking amongst the people all day.
Yeah.
Talking, chatting, talking shit, inviting people into the deal. I mean, we're just having fun. Bringing people on a part of it, and not necessarily and weren't dogging on people, just building the excitement for the show.
Of course.
All right. So and it was fun. And we had so many, like I said, so many good people there were taking pictures and wanting to come see, and they all came and watched. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We get done. And I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm way back here by the fence in the back. And again, we're dressing outside, so I'm just like, oh yeah. I'm trying to breathe. Storm. I was like, I think I heard something. Storm. And I looked around. Storm. And I look, and it's Bullwhip Ballard. I was like, dude, what's up? Brody's about to whoop somebody's ass. I was like, oh no. I jumped up out of my chair and took off. I get up there, and by that time, Brody, I see him walking back away. Reels is shaking his head, laughing. And Johnny's over there like, oh, it's about to be on. I was like, what happened? And Brody looked at me, he said, something right there. Tried to call what we do fake. And I was like, oh, shoot. So what happened was that guy said, now that the fake stuff is over, y'all come over here and listen to some music and see some dancing, some real entertainment. Well, that rubbed the Broadster way wrong, as it should have, and not just him.
Oh, no,
everybody who heard it, worker-wise, was there. Yeah. I mean, Marvin was doing production. All of them heard it. Mm-hmm. There's only those of us back there by the trailer who didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And then when that found out, everybody was up there.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, it was a lot, right? So it was a lot of people. And Brody was in that dude's face. And I'm telling you, nose to nose.
Yeah.
He was nose to nose. So he said, that dude, Brody said, don't you ever call what we do in that ring fake.
Yeah.
He said, I hit you right now, I will drop you on the spot. Dude's going to try to bow up a little bit, like because he wasn't really sure how to take it. You know, I'd never hit the ground. Bro said, I guarantee you, let me hit you one time, I'll have you laid out in that floor.
Yeah.
And he had some colorful choice words for that dude.
No,
he said, we still got 10 minutes. Come over to the ring. You won't last one.
Yeah.
He snatched the mic. The guy wouldn't give him the microphone. Boy, snatched it from his hand. That's when he told him that, right? And dude was like, and he looked at, there was a bunch of police because the crowd was huge, right? So there was a crowd everywhere. And they were all watching this unfold. Police were behind them, and there was about 15 or so, maybe, something like that.
They wasn't coming over there.
No. So that dude was like waving at them, looking at this like, y'all gonna do something? Like, no, you got yourself into it. Get yourself out of it. That dude was like, boom. Brody popped that cord out of there and threw that stuff on the ground. Like, no. And walked away. And woo, Lord. So I grabbed him. We start walking off. He was telling me what all was happening. He was smoking hot. That everybody was hot. And then when you hear that stuff, you get hot because we just busted our ass.
Yeah, I've already. I ain't gonna say this. I messaged Brody and gave my full one. You know, me and Brody never agree on anything.
That's right.
But I gave my very enthusiastic thumbs up to him, and we talked.
Dude, because you don't do that.
No, you don't do that.
He was trying to get over on us.
Mm-hmm. This is what that is. This is straight up horse crap.
But it is. And he was trying to get over on the wrestling. I kid you not. 20 minutes later, we're sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
And it comes over the speaker. Hope y'all having a good time. We're doing this. And we just got to witness some of the greatest entertainment in the world, professional wrestling, nothing better than that. And blah, blah.
So, dude done changed his tune, did he?
Well, for two reasons. One, because Brody terrified him. And the other one, I guarantee you, somebody crawled his butt and said, these people came out here and worked out in the hot sun. You just sitting under a tent talking on a microphone.
Yeah.
These guys are out there doing this for the city and all the stuff that they do. They don't get paid for doing what they did. Yeah. You need to walk that back. I guarantee you, the lady went and got his stuff.
I bet she did too.
Guarantee you they did because he changed his tune significantly. And the crowd was on our side.
Oh, yeah.
They were all on Brody's side, right? Because, woo. And everybody was lined up because all the boys wanted a piece of it after that when they heard what was happening. That's just something you don't do.
No. I mean, that's one thing we learned. You know, one thing we all said. I don't care if you're a baby. I don't care if you're a heel. That goes out the window when somebody starts dissing what we do in that ring.
Well, because it's what we do is so hard and so difficult on the body, mentally. Yeah. It is taxing. I mean, it's people. We were talking with Tommy last night. Yeah, people really don't understand. It's like, man, there's people have no concept outside of the wrestling business what it's like. No, because you give so much of yourself. Yeah. Right. It's and you can't explain it to the normal person because they have no concept. All they hear is what that guy said, really is like, that's what a lot of people's opinion. Well, that's that fake stuff, right? They have no concept of what wrestling is. No. But they've been told that for so long that that's what they believe. That's why, and you know this very well, when we get people to come train, 99.5% of them never last more than 1 or 2 sessions and they're done. We never see them again.
You're right.
Because it's so hard.
Yeah.
They can't do it. They can't handle it.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's great. Those people don't need to be in there.
No, I will say we got 2 very good trainees right now that are really putting in the effort.
They are.
And yeah, did they fail? Sure, they failed. We all failed.
But they keep coming back.
They keep coming back.
And that's how you know somebody wants it. Those are the guys you want to help.
Yeah, exactly. That's the ones you want to help.
Not the ones who are always crying and whining.
No.
Well, can we have to do that? I'm like, yeah. You know what? You do. We're going to do it twice as hard today.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I'm like you. Don't ask me that because you're going to be there for a while.
You start talking that mess, training's about to be real difficult on you.
It is.
And it's already hard.
Yeah.
It's already difficult. But that's what I mean.
Because you think about this, they call it fake. I mean, I know that how many injuries have you had just in the last couple of months, 2 or 3 months?
Well,
I know your ankle.
I fractured my ribs and did my finger the last. That's been the last 2 months.
Yeah,
and literally 2 months.
I know your ankle, your leg. Am I right?
Well, my leg would date back to October.
Yeah.
Well, right before November, right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Night before Thanksgiving, I tore my tendon.
All right, wait a minute. The last time we were in the ring together, you were injured then. What was that? Do you remember?
That was my. When was the last time we were in the ring together? That was
the last time I was in the ring, which was.
Well, that was the church. No, that was the church deal, wasn't it?
No. That was
or Hadley's.
That was
Hadley's.
Yeah, the church deal was the summer, and then we did.
That was an ankle.
That's right.
Remember, because I'd come down in OWO, And that's why I started wearing all my braces on my ankles. That's what got me to wearing the braces on my ankles to make sure I had all the support.
Yeah, because that's why we had
Because I did nothing and my ankle swelled up huge.
We had Charlie and Bob out there training them, and then you got hurt, and then pretty much I want to say me and Dredd ended up training them. Because you couldn't. You came out there and just kind of direct where you could and see what they were doing. So we have eyes. That's when people don't understand either. Which I mean, you can call it lifting the curtain, whatever. It's no big deal. Everybody knows, Crossroads is myself, you, and
Big Red,
and Big Red. And that's the reason we do that, and the reason we got committees and everything else because we all three are wrestlers like that, and it's the way we run things. But I mean, even with that, it don't matter which one of us is in the ring working with these guys. You got the other eyes watching to give direction. Same thing we do when we train.
That's right.
We always have eyes.
You have to.
You have to have eyes. You got to have more. Just one person can't. Well, then I guess can one person train somebody? Yeah, but it's a lot better if you've got 2 or 3 eyes out there. You might catch something that I don't see. I might catch something you don't see.
Because it's easy to miss stuff.
Yes, it is.
Because not only are you're trying to watch, but you're thinking about the next thing, and you're thinking about, and you're also trying to break down what they're doing at the same time.
Exactly.
And so it helps to have an extra set of eyes.
Yeah. So with that, but going back to your injury, you got injured on that.
Yeah.
I haven't been injured in a long time because, like I said, I rarely the last. Good gosh, 5, 6, 7 years, I've rarely wrestled because, getting older and everything else. Plus, I've been so busy playing.
Yep.
But even, and we talked about it before, I wrestled nowhere near as much as y'all did. Even when I started, I was going to have one match. You remember that? I was going to have one match and then got into this. And then
that's right.
There was about, I want to say about a 5-year stretch, 6-year stretch that I wrestled every week. At least once, twice a week, I was wrestling, and I got in. And with me doing that, I ended up with a broken ankle, ended up with a separated shoulder, ended up with my neck being janked up, my hips are shot, my knees shot, and that's just me doing what I did. So going back to what I was going around to is got away from is the fake. I hate it, man. I just want to smack somebody because it's not fake.
No, it's not. There's
predetermined. Yes, it's predetermined. Besides that, it is not fake.
There's nothing fake about what we do.
No, it's not.
It's like Marvin was setting up the ring over there Friday, and they had some people walking by, and they looked at it. It was like, "Is that all the padding that's on there? Because that padding is only about ½ inch thick, maybe."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and they saw that. Those huge 2x12s by 16s that are on there. And then the male like, wait, that's what's under there? I'm like, yeah. Bar was like, yeah. What'd you think it was?
A trampoline?
They thought that's exactly what they thought.
Yeah. It's not a trampoline.
No, dude, that is not what this is.
And there's certain people when you wrestle them, that suplexes you on the concrete, on the outside, body slams you on the concrete. When you take it to the outside and you're out there fighting and you're selling, hitting the ground and hitting the wall and everything else, there's no padding out there. And how many times has all of us been on the outside of the ring brawling?
Oh yeah,
I brawl sometimes more on the outside than I was in the ring.
Brody will slam you on the floor in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
and dude, you ain't got no place else to go.
No,
there ain't no give on it.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. So people can't do it. So when they call it fake, it's like, dude,
it's a slap in the face.
It's bad because you're speaking from no experience.
Exactly.
And then you call and I was like, dude, because then I start running my mouth. Everybody's just running their mouths at that point. He was hot, I was hot. Everybody was just mad at that point because there's no call for it.
No, well, that was. Excuse the word. That was a dick move. I'm sorry,
but it was.
I don't cuss, and that was.
It was, and I'm like, dude, this. I said I was being loud too. I was like, all he's doing is clout chasing, dude. This is a guy that has no street cred. No. He's trying to get some in front of this crowd right here. At that point, I'm saying we're just mouthy at that point.
Oh yeah.
But Brody had already done all the damage to his ego.
I bet he did.
There was really nothing left anybody else could say that was going to hurt that dude further because Brody eviscerated his dude.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, like I said, I gave my, I gave my very enthusiastic thumbs up and had a little conversation with Brody about that. I think it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I think it's absolutely awesome.
Like I said, this business is tough, and it's tough on you when you do that. It's like, good Lord, you got dicks out there like that trying to say stuff. It's like,
that's exactly what it is. That's just there was no call for that.
No,
and I'm not going to elaborate on my feelings on people like that anyway, or of that nature, because I will not.
Tiger said that dude went ghost too. He did. Good morning. Good afternoon, Mark. What's going on, buddy? So Mark looks like Mark Briscoe.
Oh, really?
I swear to God. And so I'm telling you that because you probably hadn't heard us talking about it. But Mark's a great fan and becoming a really friend of ours too. I mean, he's from New York. And cool dude, right? Hopefully one day I get to meet him in person. That's hopefully. But that's what I'm saying. So we got fans, and just kind of transitioning because you got people like that. But then you got fans like Mark, Jeff, guys who are out of state from us.
He's from New York.
He's from New York. Okay. Jeff is from Pennsylvania. Jeff is driving down from Pennsylvania this week with him and his son. I think his grandson. They're coming down this week. He's going to MIW Friday night, and he's going to be at Bluff Saturday.
Oh, ask him if he knows Gene Snitsky. Me and Gene are really good friends.
I'll ask him if he does, but he's coming from down there, from up there, because he is a huge fan of what we do down here.
That's awesome.
He said, "Man, I watch wrestling everywhere, and I like the old school actual wrestling field because a lot of these guys don't really care for the sports entertainment stuff."
Yeah,
and I'm not a fan of it either. I'll just be honest. There are very few things I will watch now on the big one. On the big guys, because everything is just too circusy.
See, I told you the same thing too. I don't watch WWE. I don't even watch AEW. I have it now. If I have pay-per-view, and all of us guys
we'll watch the
get together,
we'll
watch the pay-per-view. I couldn't tell you what's going on today. To me, it's too scripted. To me, it's just I don't know how to explain it. To me,
it is. Saturday, and we had no script, no nothing for any of the matches that we had Saturday at Juneteenth. None.
No,
it was all by the seat of our pants. Let's fill this crowd out. That's old school professional wrestling right there. It's not going out there and planning your matches out for an hour and making sure you got all your spots. And dude, it was about filling the crowd out. Let's see how they respond, what they responded to. We'll adjust on the fly, do what we got to do, and we'll go out there and wrestle. And make this up as we go.
All right, well, I'll bring this up, and we talked about it before. Perfect example. You called me when we was down in Oxford that time, and what we do? I got out of my truck. I think I left it running.
Yeah.
You were already in
the ring.
You were in the ring talking.
I was killing time.
Yeah, you were killing time because nobody else was there. Yep. You was the only one there. He's like, dude, get here quick. I got there quick. We get up. We locked up. I had no idea of anything.
No.
Not a finish, not anything.
We made
that up. We called it on the fly and had a great match and entertained the crap out of them people.
And that's what you got to do. You got to be able to do that. And he said, "Oh yeah," and the old school base is growing. And that's kind of my point. Exactly. The old school base really is growing around here. I mean, we are building a fan base now of people who just want that old school style back because it reminds them of something. It reminds them of the thing they fell in love with when they were young in the first place.
Exactly. So that's one thing we're going to, which I was going to talk about too, is with Crossroads. We got a place now.
Yep.
That we're getting ready and everything else. And matter of fact, any of our people from that used to come to Redeem, we need to try. And if any of y'all watch this, please spread the word. We would love to. We're going to start doing.
Yep. Go to our Crossroads page. Yeah. Like it, share it.
Yeah, like it, share it on our Crossroads page because we got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, our goal is really, we're trying to get venues and stuff together.
Yes.
I've been working behind the scenes trying to get a couple other ones that I'm hoping we can announce in the next couple of months or so. Yeah. But I'm hoping 2024 is really going to be a bunch of good stuff for Crossroads.
Yeah. Oh, so too.
Because, and that's kind of the thing, like we were talking, like with our roster at Crossroads, this is what I love because a lot of those guys will wrestle at Bluff, but a lot of different ones will wrestle at APW, and some other ones wrestle at MCW, right? So, in MIW, So you got in OWO, so you got a bunch of little different organizations, places. All those places I love to go, because they're different in their own way, but they're really all good locker rooms, right?
Exactly.
And I have a blast at all of them because every one of those locker rooms is accepting of you.
Yeah,
they don't say, "Oh my God, here comes somebody about to take my spot, and I can't do this." And here comes a new guy. They ain't like that. They're like, "Oh, dude, we're about to have fun now."
Well, if you think about it too, our Crossroads locker room. I mean, we're like family.
Exactly.
I mean, we're pure. I mean, we do bowling tournaments at my house. Everything. The whole crowd's everybody's there. We're all like a big, huge family.
Exactly.
And that's the way it should be. And then everybody we bring in, we make sure they understand. This is we're family. We're not in here to argue. Nobody's got to. There's no egos. Check your ego at the door.
Yep. Hey Taylor, how you doing, buddy? Tiger said me and Few were playing rock paper scissors, trying to figure out who was going to be next this past Saturday. Dude, I swear. Swear, dude, it was tough.
Yeah,
Dude, it was rough, man. Folks, Crossroads is a heck of a show. I definitely don't miss, and we're going to keep it growing. And it's exciting and it's fun, and there's a lot of good things to do.
Yeah,
a lot of great places to go, and
yes,
like I said, we're building up a great roster.
Yeah.
At Crossroads, at Bluff, APW has a great roster.
Yeah,
MCW has a great roster, and MIW does too. I mean, that's MIW's been growing, but I tell you what, the booker up there, and I won't say his name.
Yeah.
But he has been really grooming that roster pretty good and building something up there at MIW. They have a great old school feel. And I like that because when you're talking about old school wrestling, we now have an opportunity to grow old school wrestling.
Oh, yeah, from because you got all them. Like I said, OWO, I would, if I ever get a time off or a weekend off where I go down there, I would love to go down there with that show too.
Oh yeah, it's fun, and they're all different. Like they have a different kind of crowd and different kind of vibe over there. I know I've got a couple shows coming up for them, but same thing at MCW. I'm hated the most in MCW.
Yeah,
by far, dude, by far.
Well, that's good.
That
means you're doing your job.
It is an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, in this business, I mean, we discussed it a million times. I mean, when we watch different things, I know that we have different views on how things are, and you should be, because when you're in heel mode, when I'm in baby mode, we got different views on how we got to run the matches and everything else.
Oh yeah,
and I want you to be that heel. I want you to be the dirtiest you can be, because all it does is, if put this way, if you suck, it's not going to get. If I suck, the match is going to suck.
Yes.
And
you gotta be willing to go out there and just go.
Yeah.
All right, and do what's necessary for the fans,
Exactly.
Not for yourself, for the fans.
Exactly what you said.
If you're not doing this for the fans, you're missing out, because guess what, guys? Especially for you younger wrestlers out there who don't seem to understand the simple fact. Because I hear, like, well, I gotta learn how to get over. I gotta get over. If you will getting over with the fans is easy. You have to engage with them.
Yeah.
You will get over.
Yeah.
If you build that rapport with the fans.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, you build a rapport with the fans, you will get over.
Yes.
Your first priority is the fans.
Yes.
Everything else follows. What you want follows out of what you do for the fans.
Yeah.
If you can't grasp that simple concept, you are in the wrong business. You cannot do this business. No. I don't care how technically sound you are. No. If nobody's responding to you, that stuff means nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I don't care what you do. You can go in there. I was watching. It was an old student that we were training, and we sat down one time, and we were watching. And we went back to USWA, the very first one. It was like a 6-man tag. And dude, and back then, most of it was, I bet they threw 15 arm drags, but they were getting down like that, and then people were having a fit. But it wasn't what they were doing; it was what they got over to that crowd.
Well, that's what it's always about.
I think they didn't do no more than a few arm drags, clotheslines, because we stopped and what we did. I want you to understand, we stopped and we counted the moves. Just the actual wrestling moves, just to see how much they did. They didn't do a lot.
No,
they didn't have to. That crowd was berserk because they were working that crowd.
You watch any Savage Brotherhood match, there's one thing you will not see, and that's us going 90-0, doing all kinds of loop-de-loops. And wackadoos and loop-de-loos and all the other crap that they do. We don't do any of that stuff.
No, but the way I look at it too, there's other people that I'm not down that stuff, because I'll even
no, because there's a lot of guys who can do it, do it well.
Yeah, I'll bring up the crowd. As we talked about them earlier. So sound in that, but not only the sound in the ring. I want people to understand. Not only they just that sound in the ring of what they do with all the stuff, and they do a lot of high flying and everything else. But it's what they engage that crowd. They know that they're the total package. They got everything they need.
Mm-hmm.
to do that. So and if you notice too, they're not just fly.
No.
When they do it, it means something.
Yes. They're not doing it just to do it.
No.
They will do it because it matters in the match.
Exactly. It matters in the match. That's what gets me too. I'm not going to diss anybody that does that.
No.
But I mean, if that's what I've watched a match before, and it was a old show that didn't last very long. That was when they first started getting wrestling back. It's been years ago, probably about 12, 13 years ago. And I watched this particular dude. I don't forget even what it was, but they had a 6-man tag. Like it was like their, I want to say it was their luchador, whatever title or whatever. And these guys are getting. It was a circus act. No selling. They do a move, get up, wait, do a move, get up, and it was horrible. Why? Because it was just nothing. But it was nothing. They, had to set up this, set up that, set up this, set up that. There was no no engagement with the crowd. I couldn't tell you who the heel was. Couldn't tell you who the baby was. It was a circus act.
That's right.
It was, the moves were impressive. Yeah, sure, I guess. But I mean, if you're doing a circus act, that would be.
Well, but that's the thing too, and that should never be a thing where you're having to go, are the moves impressive? Who cares?
Yeah.
Why would that be your concern? Right? It's like, did I just have a good time or what? I hate that piece of crap right there. I'm just,
Yeah, exactly.
And vice versa. I love that dude. That dude right there is the greatest thing. That's what you want.
Exactly.
You don't know why, but they made you feel a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. And when all you care about is perfect physiques, and doing flashy moves, there's just not a lot of longevity in that.
No, it's
not.
I mean, it's not.
You don't have it.
It's. I mean, to me, it goes back to you got to work these storylines and promos and working the crowd is every bit as important as what you do in that ring.
Well, and you have to. I'll tell you this. We had a conversation with a talent the other night.
Yeah.
And oh hell, I don't care. I don't even know. I was about to sugarcoat something I'm not going to. Yeah, I was like, why do I even care? I mean, it really don't matter. So a lot of people will have something bad to say about Bluff because of how much smack talk Brody and I specifically do, and how much smack talk that Johnny does, right? So what they think is that, oh, that is just drama, man. And this is from workers.
No,
this is from workers. Well, it's just, man, there's just so much drama and stuff like that. I'm like, that tells me everything I need to know about you as a worker and your lack of ability to work.
No, the way I look at it, okay, I'll tell you the way I look at it. If you're up there bringing stuff and working, if you're up there working that, if it comes up there and you're just up there shooting on a bunch of stuff and causing drama, that's one thing. But if you're up there sitting there working angles and working these people like that, working things to where you're going, perfect example. I love what you did for OWO. You've never been down there, so what? You cut it. You cut that angle. You wore them out for about a month.
Yeah,
you wore them out and things like that.
Every bit
that's
of it.
What you're supposed to be doing. Every time you had a chance to cut the people at OWO and the fans at OWO, and you never been down there, you were doing that left and right. You were cutting that. That's what you're supposed to do.
And kudos to the promoter because he was like helping that along and going, yes, he was helping nurture that, going instead of going, man, we probably don't need to do that. We don't hurt everybody's feelings. Fans are not getting. You've got to give them a reason to come see me get my ass whipped.
Yeah. Now
they want to come and see things happen.
Now, to me, there's a difference between that and if you're just a shit starter in the locker room.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, exactly, that's a whole different thing. If you're a shit starter in the locker room, then no, that's if you're causing drama behind the scenes, that's
different.
That's different.
But that's what some people come in and say, right? So that's what the talent we were talking to.
Yeah.
It's like, she said, because you hear all the stuff, then you come up here and you kind of see it's like everybody's just cool and having fun.
Well,
I'm like, dude, because we work. I'm like,
you work.
The internet's your buddy. If you'll let it be your buddy.
Exactly.
It's what old school when they remember when they used to back then when everything was so old school wrestling was so popular. Dundee, Lawler.
Yeah.
What they did? They'd show up in a town, do a weird ass all of a sudden pop up angle at a restaurant, gas station, something like that, and start all this attention coming up and all this crazy people like, oh, we're going out to see what happens now.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, except now you're using Facebook to do it. Except the
there's
funny
no
thing
reason.
is that guys who grew up loving that
Mhm.
are the very ones trying to put it down because, wait, y'all just stirring up drama on Facebook.
No,
What is wrestling? Wrestling is
it's
drama.
It's drama.
Nobody wants to see two wrestlers go out shaking hands and being good buddies, get in the ring. There is no money in that.
No.
None. There's no
You're right.
entertainment value in it.
You're right.
There's no money in it.
So that's to me. There's a difference. I mean, it's not even a fine. It's a big line that it's not even so. Well, it's a fine line. No, it's not a fine line.
No.
It's a huge. When you're back in that locker room, you're back there. You're back here doing. You're back here. If you're causing again, because we've had it before in ours,
Oh,
and what did we
Lord.
do? We got rid of it.
I had to go.
You got to go. You do not cause drama. You do not cause stupid stuff back in the locker room. That's horse crap. But now when you're out here and you got a place over here and you got some folks you're running to Englewood, by God, what we say all the time, we get on everybody's butt in the organization. Get on Facebook.
Work. Promos. Do something. Get the show over. And why guys do not promote these shows, I have no idea, but that pisses me off.
No, it does too. Oh, you think about this. And I'll go back to Halloween, this past Halloween.
Yes.
Bob and Charlie, we had 50 days.
That's right.
To get them to where they could even work in the ring. And what they do in 50 days? In 50 days, Charlie and Bob, especially Bob, my God.
They were out there busting their ass. And they're cutting promos like crazy.
They were in that ring. They put in the work. Bob got hurt, continued.
And how many people we have that day? About over 300 out there in that crowd. It was massive. It was.
And where are we going? We're going back there. That's gonna be a yearly thing that we do.
That's right.
It's going to be a yearly thing that we do. And what was that? That was two guys that had never been in a wrestling ring before in their life. And they did more than a lot of these guys that we got out there that are supposed to be vets.
That's true. Cannot argue that.
I mean,
that's 100% right.
It's just
and
like,
you've got to be willing to do that,
yes.
right? I mean, you've got to be. I get tired sometimes because I'm talking all the time. I'm trying to cut promos, and nobody else is really cutting promos. Like when we're doing some of these events, I'm like, dude, why am I the only one? Y'all do something. I'm backing up. I'm done. And y'all do it because all they see is me now.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm the one doing it. So I'm like, y'all gonna have to do something. And then I get to where I don't even want to fool with it because it's like, dude, y'all have to put in work. It can't just be 2 or 3 of us. It has to be your whole company should be involved going, we've got to do this. It takes no time to put in a promo. I'm sorry. Y'all can make any excuse you want to. It does not take 2 minutes to cut a promo, put it on Facebook, and promote the show.
No,
everybody has 2 minutes a day. They can do this.
That's one thing. I mean, we preach this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We do preach it all the time.
All the time.
Anybody that says, especially again, and there's a totally different thing. I want to make that specific. If you were sitting there working an angle, man, I'll back you to the sun. I'll back you to the pits of hell. Because you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, again, if you cause some drama back in that locker room or heat with somebody like that, drama heat, no, you're out of here. Don't need you. Exactly. You need to put that energy into promos against who you're going to be wrestling. It don't matter if you know who you're going to wrestle or not. No. It does not matter.
Cut one for the show.
Cut one for the show.
Who cares if you know who you're working?
Anybody.
You know the show's coming up. Mm-hmm. Big Daddy's going to be there. So I'll tell you what you do. I don't care who you are. Step up and get in the ring with me. I will prove to you. Exactly. Well, I am the best, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can go and cry and whine to your booker. You can cry and whine to the fans. At the end of the day, you come and step in that ring with me, whoever you are, and I am whooping your ass. So get ready come the 24th, because I don't care who you are.
Yeah. There you go. Mine be the baby. Hey,
done.
Man,
let's go.
Coming out. OWO, man. Jay Longwolf will be there. I am looking. I don't care who my opponent is. I'm going to go out there and give you 110%. I'm out there with my fans. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all, man. I'll be there.
And that's it.
Simple. We just got two little stupid little promos right here.
Real quick. That's all you got to do. Send them to Facebook. People say, oh, yeah, that's right. Wrestling, 24th. Oh, they're going to be there. He sounds excited. Let's go see what this is all about.
Exactly.
That's all you're trying to do.
He said he wanted to meet me. He said, this guy over here, I hate him already. He said he's going to go out there and whoop everybody's ass.
That's right. Son of a bitch.
Exactly.
Let's go out there and get.
That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science.
It's not. It's so easy. But people make it difficult, and it's the most infuriating thing, because your time as a wrestler and when you're working doesn't just happen when the bell rings.
No.
All right, it's not just bell to bell.
No.
It's the weeks and days and months before.
Yes.
It's the weeks and days and months afterwards, from between shows, going to the next show, promoting yourself, promoting all these companies you work for, because everybody works for more than one company pretty much anyway.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Why are you not doing that? And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
the reason is because we go to show A. Show A says, I'm just giving everybody $20 across the board. Well, okay. Well, I'm showing up. I'm going to get $20 no matter what I do.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
So if I'm the one that everybody's coming to see, I put in the work. Guy goes out there, he can't even do a wrist lock. He's still making the same money I am. Well, screw that.
Yeah.
Why? We're not the same.
No.
I'm putting in the effort for your company. This guy is not.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably not going to work for company A very long.
Exactly.
I'm done. Because company B is saying, dude, I love your promos. I love what you're doing. People are talking about all that you're doing. Here's a little extra for you.
Yeah.
This guy out here probably going to find somebody to replace him because he's not really doing anything.
Yeah.
I will stay with that promoter.
All right. I'm going way back. I'm going back 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
ICWF. We had that. It was an organization.
Mm-hmm.
How did we pay? We paid accordingly.
Yes. Always.
Always paid accordingly.
Always.
You know.
Always.
We go out there and look. If you put in the work like that, we saw that. And guess what? And guess what else was going to happen too? He's going to get strapped around your waist.
Yep. But you weren't going to sit there and you weren't going to be able to sit there and just skirt by and get treated equally, because there is no equal. It's a meritocracy. It's what you do. It's the work you put in.
Exactly.
How hard you work. Are you the one people are coming to see and talking about?
Exactly.
I mean, if that's the case, if you're the one they're coming to see, if you're the one they're talking about, you're the one that's going to hold titles. You're the one's going to get the title shots at least.
Yeah.
And then you'll be the one that makes a little bit more money than the other guys who are just phoning it in. Because everybody is not the same. They're not made the same. They don't work the same. Their attitudes are not the same. You reward the ones who put in the work.
If you think about this too, back in the days too, we talked about it earlier. You know, when we had ICWF, we started out. We used my popularity because I was playing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We had in West Magnolia the Revolvers. We had a huge crowd, and a lot of that crowd came to see. And what I do, but I was getting eyes on y'all.
Yeah,
that was my main thing. Even back then, was getting eyes on y'all. How many titles do I have? Not very many.
Mm-mm.
I think I've had the tag titles about 4 times. I had the big company title once, and I had the U.S. title, I think, 3 times. That's the only titles I've ever held in all my years of playing. For one thing, I didn't need it because everybody knew me. But we used me. We used, hey, so-and-so, bring here, take this title, boom, boom, keep it for a while. And I let it off on somebody else to build the company. You know, that's what you're supposed to. People understand that too. When you go anywhere, I don't care what company, I don't care if it's Crossroads, I don't care if it's Bluff City, I don't care if it's APW, you build that company. You help build that company.
And you have to.
Yeah, when you build that company, guess what? You're going to make more money. If there's more people there, if you just come in and phone it in, you know, you're going to get paid like you just phoned it in. The people that help you build that company are the ones that's going to be loyal. That's the ones that you're going to pay. You know, that's going to get the most pay.
Well,
everything,
and that's how it should be.
Better.
They're the ones who should reap the rewards,
exactly,
because of the work that they put in. And I don't care what else it is, whatever else it is. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Mark says, legendary Hall of Fame fans like myself, I like a little bit of everything, a good mix of mostly wrestling.
Yeah,
with a little high flying and old school hardcore. Absolutely.
There you go.
Tiger says there's nothing more beautiful than when the fans hate you so bad they end up loving you, which is very true.
Yeah.
Tiger said that's what's not clicking. All we had was a landline phone and VHS held today. It's easy. These guys aren't grasping it. Which goes back to what we were talking about. People not going out there and putting forth the effort. Lee says brag, 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 LOL. Christy says Brody beat Crossman's ass this past Friday night. Yeah, that's probably light work for Brody.
Yeah.
Beating up on Crossman. Crossman needed a good ass whooping, honestly, Christy. I think everybody knows that for sure. So, yes, thanks for bringing that to our attention, by the way, because I hadn't really talked to Brody about what happened Friday night. We hadn't even had the time, which is crazy because, like, we were running all weekend. But yeah, dude, so I think it goes back to a lot of but that's why. So when we're talking about promoting and we're talking about these guys and bringing them in and like with guys like with Bluff, this is why I love Bluff. This is why I love these other companies too, because they let you be yourself. They let you do what you can do to bring fans in the door. Yeah. And say, hey, this is the opportunity, but it's your opportunity. Yeah. What can you do with it?
Exactly.
I mean, and it's just that way. It's not, well, we're friends, so here you go.
No,
I don't want that. I want somebody to see my value.
Exactly.
To say, I want you to come in here because you can be a difference maker here.
Yeah.
You know, and even 26 years into this business, on my 27th now.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm making a difference, like I can help.
Yeah.
Like when I do something that means something.
Yeah.
I mean, or I wouldn't be in the gym. I'd just be a sloppy fat bastard somewhere, not giving a crap anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I work hard so I can go and do the things that feel like I'm contributing to the whole.
Exactly.
And saying, I love the building of a company. I love what we're going to be doing with Crossroads. I love doing that with Bluff because that's two companies we're kind of building at the same time. This is, you know, Johnny's my friend, and I love helping him, but he's only been my friend since I got there in October.
Yeah.
But I built strong friendships up there since then. Mm-hmm. But it's fun helping somebody build a company. We've been friends forever. We're like family.
Yeah.
But yet this is the second real company we've built.
Yeah.
You kind of, it really is.
Yeah. Second real company we really built.
So, but it's something that you take pride in, that you want to see come to fruition. Yeah. And those are exciting times because of what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I'll be out there today working on stuff.
Yeah. You know? So that's what I mean. It's,
you know, but the thing is, it's also too is exciting because I mean, you think about this too, and this is because of the help that we got from. I go back to Bob that they helped us with and everything else. It really, but I mean, now we've already got, as young as we are, we've got a yearly thing that's going to be big for us. It's going to be, I guess, our WrestleMania or whatever, you know, which will be the Hadleys.
The Hadleys is a good deal.
We've got to get that going again.
And that's the other thing, like, because I know Johnny catches a lot of hell up there at Bluff because. But he is our biggest supporter, you know, cheerleader.
Yeah.
He tells me all the time, say, man, whatever y'all need. Like the whole thing, like with Bluff is the only thing he asks is that you don't run in Memphis. Like you don't work for somebody else in Memphis.
Yeah.
But like with Crossroads, he's like, but that's your stuff. That you and your friends stuff, that's y'all's, that's what y'all, he said, I ain't worried about that. I got you, whatever you need.
Yeah.
So the narrative out there is, but the fact is, no, he's the same way with APW. With MCW, what do y'all need? What can I do? That's the first thing he says and asks, what can I do? What do you need? What do you guys need? What can I do? He's asked me that 100 times about Crossroads. I said, dude, I got it. If I do need something, like he helped me with the insurance deal on the last show, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, dude, I was at a loss on how we were going to get that done and where to go. Johnny helped me out. He was like, dude, this is what you got to do. He said, you want me to? I can get it for you. I said, I got it. Just thanks for pointing me in the direction.
Yeah, that's one thing because I mean, there's certain things that because it's different than like you said, because it's like what Tiger said. Tiger said it perfect. We back in the days, and you remember this, because we made VHF.
Oh Lord,
VHS tapes. We would do promos, take the VHF player and plug them into a big screen TV if they had it at the place, you know, to run our promos. I mean, that's all we had was that and landlines. You know, that's all we had.
Exactly.
You know, and now we got all this right here, and this is still, you know, that's the reason I look for you, because you do a lot with this stuff right here.
And we all have and that's kind of the cool thing too, because we all have different parts we can play.
Yeah, we do,
which is cool.
Yeah.
Because I try to help out. I just love doing it, and so sometimes I step in a little too much, and I get a little behind because it gets to be a lot. However, but I wouldn't change it.
No,
right? I wouldn't change it because I love it so much.
That's why we got three of us in this.
Exactly.
We're trying to do.
Mark says, I've noticed a lot of the independent talent don't do promos, and those that do, I'd say a quarter of a whole cut good promos, and a quarter cuts great promos. The rest need to work on it.
Yeah.
I've also noticed there's talent that don't even promote their shows, dude, which again is very true. Lee said ICWF was the best time I ever had in the square circle.
You ain't joking.
Again, great times there, Lee.
Man, dude, you need to get back in there. We miss you, brother.
Pat's talking about you. His tag team partner said y'all number one contenders. This is a great show. Appreciate it. Christy said Brody had help with Jay Smooth. Oh, that's right. Brody did mention Jay Smooth was helping him out the other night because I've been in MCW. Tiger says that folks don't think Bluff isn't making noise. Fans and workers coast to coast chattering back, which is true. Again, Mark and Jeff are two prime examples. More than that.
Yeah.
We have people, is it in Australia and Japan, I think, who watch the show on a message.
That's really cool.
Dude, it's really neat. It's pretty cool. But again, that goes back to everything we were talking about. The power of Facebook, social media, and the internet to grow your promotion, grow your company. And why the hell are you not out there promoting your shows?
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, we talk, and I hate to say it, we sound like a broken record sometimes, but I mean, I want to get this. This is what this is about. You know, is about the Heels and Faces is about. Is about workers. And about sitting down. It's not about me and arguing and fighting. We're in character to a certain extent, but I mean, it's also the thing that is to show these young workers. Because there's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of really good talent. And because I watch Well, what do I watch? I'll tell you, I watch the APWs because everything that you put on.
Yeah, oh yeah, APW.
Everything the stud puts on there for OWO.
Yeah.
I watch Him or Dirty. If they put it on there, I watch it. I watch all them shows like that. I watch everything that's going on. That's what I watch. That's the rest of I watch. And yeah, it is because my boys are on there. Like, yeah, sure. But I'm watching the new talent too. The guys, I've never seen this guy. Let's see what he's doing.
And I met so many new people here lately.
It's like I'm watching and seeing what's going on. I'm watching them work and everything else. And the only thing that I see is, I would love.
It's that, isn't it? Though you just don't see a lot of people doing promoting shows. You'll see a poster, but you none of this. Nobody actually coming on there where it connecting. But so I got up this morning, and I swear my mind stays on wrestling these days, which is funny because I went 5 years where I tried not to even think about it.
Oh, I know.
And now my mind's in full creative mode all the time. What can I do? What can I do? This morning I woke up, I stretched out. I was like, okay, Jen's already at work. And I was like, but baby girl's not.
Yes.
I'm like, so.
Yeah, I hadn't even watched it yet.
I'm like, it's promo time.
Yeah.
So, dude, well, we want a video to show. For those of you watching who might not have seen it, I'll do this. I'll let you see it. We'll share it right now because I didn't really get a key one up. But this is my point. In this is that, okay, so what can we do to make what can we do to get some excitement going? What can we do to share things? And oh my Lord, what can we do? I know there's things we can do. What is that? So let me show you what it is. So this is what I did this morning. Good morning. Oh, I dreamt about you all night last night. Come on. Let's pull back those covers. I don't like y'all covered up, baby. Oh, yeah. You and all your glory. You're so beautiful. Get over here closer to Daddy. Snuggle up a little bit. See, this feels good. This feels real good. 1 year anniversary. Bluff City's coming up this weekend, baby. All the people out there and their jealousy that the Savage Brotherhood are still your Bluff City Wrestling Tag Team Champions because they can't hold you like I do. They'll never understand it. The connection we have. And that's going to continue Saturday. East Coast Bad Boys, Devil's Rejects. It don't matter what you do. It'll never matter what you try to do. There is nobody in this entire tri-state area who can stop the Savage Brotherhood. Get used to it. Baby girl, let's get back on these covers. Big Daddy's got a great vacation planned for us after this is over with. So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So literally, that took a little over a minute to do.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, it's not only that. You got to understand that. It's not only that. But what gets me to, it's like you were creative with what you did.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't take you, and I don't know, what do you think? Same thing. What I mean, or me doing which I know we hadn't released them like that because we had things we were going to do for a show that was going to be in May.
But y'all will see those coming up.
Yeah, but I mean, even with mine, even me being a general manager, but I mean, I'm having to be in a storyline, and with the storyline that I'm being in, and it takes me. How long did it take me to send you? Then 5 minutes. That
the hardest part. The hardest part was actually sending them.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't recording them.
But I mean,
it was actually sending them.
It don't do nothing. I mean,
that's right. It doesn't take any time.
And that's one thing I think that going back to the trainees that we got, I'm going to start training. But that's one thing that's going to be part of their training. They're going to cut promos.
Well, it needs to be. But again, and here's the thing: like some of these guys can really talk and do good stuff, but they won't. They won't come out and they won't share promos. And look, I get it. Promos, and I can say that because promos come naturally to me.
Yeah.
And I get that does not happen for a lot of people. Like with that whole thing we just watched this morning was just a spread of that's just how my mind works. And I get it,
Yeah.
doesn't for somebody like a lot of those guys are so much better than me in the ring technically. They can go, they can do all these things, they're snappy and fluid. I happen to excel on the promo side of things and the audience engagement side of it.
Yeah.
That's where my key attributes are.
Exactly.
And I just big man everything else because I just don't have I am not as fluid in the ring, technically sound as a lot of these other guys are. So I have to make it up in other ways.
Man.
And I use the gifts that I have.
Yeah.
I use the abilities that I have to put it all together to be on top. I don't just go, well, I'm only good at this, so I ain't really worried about everything else. That will never work.
No.
You've got to be able to say, okay, like with my in-ring ability, I do the stuff that works.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't try to get too fancy with it.
No.
I let it goes hand in hand with my personality, with my charisma, how I present everything, and exactly how I work. It all marries together. All right. It's not separate things.
No.
It's not like I don't come in here and try to repeat catchphrases I've heard on WWE 1,000 times.
No.
I don't come over there and try to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't try to be The Rock or any of those other cats or Hulk Hogan. I mean, all the guys that I love.
Yeah.
But you can't. And it's okay to love all those guys, but you have to be yourself.
You have to be yourself.
You got a lot of guys try to rip other guys off and try to be those guys.
I know.
I do. There ain't but one Razor Ramon. There ain't but one bad guy. And I love Scott Hall. He's one of my favorites of all time.
No, I know.
But I'm not trying to go out there and be Scott Hall.
No.
I'm not trying to go out there and meet Kevin Nash and Hulk and Rock and Austin and 100 of the other guys, Von Erichs, who I grew up with. Love those guys.
Oh, I know.
But you don't see me going out there trying to be the Von Erichs or any of the other stuff. I have to be me.
Yeah.
And the best version of me and know my strengths and my weaknesses and try to offset those and turn those weaknesses into positives.
Exactly.
You got a lot of guys say, well, I got tights, got me some boots, picked up his arm pads at the Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm a wrestler. I'm good to go. And that's it, right? Like they have no self-awareness. They can't see beyond that.
Yeah.
And they wonder, then they get mad. Those are the types of people that get mad, right?
Yeah, it is.
Why ain't I getting a title shot? Why don't I need to be the champion? I'm like, well, but do you? Because what you just said right there tells me you don't need to be a champion.
No.
When you tell me I need to come in and be a champion, that means you don't.
Yeah.
It means you understand nothing about this business in that one sentence. And I've heard that 100 times.
I know. I understand that. That's what, because I talked to Stud not too long, so about a week or so ago. We were talking about. He asked me if I was doing anything. I told him basically what was going on, and like that. And then we would discuss. He said, "Listen, at this point in your career, said, I don't care if I'm 60 years old.
Yeah,
so I can go out there. I can go out there and do a bunch of crap. My body's beat up, and everything else." So he told me, "So man, it's the main thing. Go out there and be a mouthpiece." He said, "Go out there and have fun." He said, "Get a few things in." You shouldn't have to.
No,
he said, the good thing about it, you can talk.
Yeah.
He said, you can talk, you can go out there, you can get over, you can sell. He said, you ain't got to do a lot of stupid. And, he's right. Just like what you said too, is, I know what my weaknesses are and everything else. So what little bit I do in the ring, I rarely get in the first place. Again, I'm 60 years old. The only time I get in there, if it's going to mean something to the company.
Yeah.
If it ain't going to mean something to the company, guess what I'm going to be?
That's right.
I'm going to be behind the scenes helping.
Exactly. Mark said, reason. I share out posters more than a lot of the talent do, and I'm not even on the shows. And Mark, again, 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Tiger says, "Oh, geez, here we go." I'll talk about the video.
Oh, yeah.
He said, he saw that first thing this morning.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "That's why Barry does the interviews, because I'd slap the shit out of guys that just look at the hard cam, LOL," which is very, very true. Because you'll see guys,
just look at the hard
they
cam.
Freeze up, right?
Yeah, they start.
You see guys freeze up.
Like it.
It's funny. And I feel bad for them. I really kind of do.
Well, yeah, but it's a learning curve.
It is, and I get that, because you stick a camera in some people's face, and as good as they are performing in front of that camera, talking in front of it, is a whole different monster, right?
It is.
Because then there's no hold you can grab. There's no all these other things where your comfort zone is now. You have to be eloquent on the stick.
Yeah.
And talking to the fans, it's like, oh no. And you'll see guys just kind of lose it.
Yeah.
And it's funny and it's terrifying at the same time, because you feel for them, because like, oh dang. And that they feel it. Like they're lost, and they're like, oh no, I'm dying out here.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible thing to see, but it happens more times than you think.
Oh, I know, and you're right. It's. But that's the reason I think, and that's one thing that, of course, when we first started too, we were, we were learning as we earned, back in the day, back, 20 some odd years ago, we were learning as we earned. But I mean, now that we gotten older and everything else, and we got experience like that, that's one thing that I definitely want to do with these kids that are going to stay. I want them to cut. They're gonna have to cut promos, and I'm going to see them. I mean, because I want them to go out there. I don't want them to be freezing up. I want them to be confident in everything they do. I want them to be confident from the time they get out of their car and go in that building. I want them to be able to do everything there is that needs to be done. Promos, in ring, storylines, everything.
That's right. Lisa's bringing back hardcore work. People seem to like it. Just my opinion. And, we kind of had this conversation last night a little bit, and it was about hardcore, or no, it might have been out on After Dark Saturday night. Yeah. There's so many of them these days. That I don't mind hardcore. I don't care for death matches.
I don't either. And I don't care for hardcore all the time. I think it should be a specialty. I think
it needs to be
It needs to be like if we've been going back and forth for 4 or 5 matches, and
we need a final blow off.
We need to play. Yes, intense. It needs to mean something. See, I agree with you. A good hardcore match is always, but it needs to mean something.
Mark says if workers can't speak, they need managers as mouthpieces. Yes, they do.
And I agree, Mark.
They do.
They do.
And even that's getting to be a lost art because now they don't start using managers like they used to, which is tough. And I hate that, but you got to have some.
Yeah, look at you think about this though too. We're talking about this. I mean, as far as even managers, there's not a ton to me, and that maybe I'm wrong because but from what I've seen, I haven't seen a ton of really good managers.
No,
that are good.
Tiger has a great point here. Ooh, Tiger, you thinking what I'm thinking?
That is a lost art, being a good manager.
With all these seminars going, you'd think someone would put on a Mike Spillman. So all these guys are doing these seminars now, right? You pay $30, $40, $70, $100 and come for a 2-hour seminar.
Yeah,
and they're making bank.
Oh yeah.
But they don't teach them promo stuff at these seminars.
See, that's one.
It's all wrestling related. All right, about the ring awareness, all kind of stuff, certain moves, what you do with certain. That's basically so. It's like a finishing class.
Yeah,
it's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah,
like you'll see a lot of guys, and I have. If you want to go pay your money and do that, and you're going to get something out of it, fine. But promos is what needs to happen.
Yes,
promos. Everybody needs to learn how to cut a promo, and it's not. It's all psychological.
Yes, it is.
Right. Like cutting a promo, you have to believe the things you say.
Yes.
Even over the top things you say have to have an element of truth and a truth that you believe as a human being saying those words.
Exactly.
That's the secret to a promo. Everything that I say, I believe. As outrageous as some of it is, I believe it to a certain extent, but it all has a semblance of truth and honesty in the words that I speak.
Yeah.
Or I just don't say them. Exactly. I only say the words that I believe in, even when I'm telling you all the things I feel that are negative, like the chicken coop Terry Tylers of the world. When I say it, I believe it. It's just how it is. And so, but that's all my promos. Yeah. And because when you're telling the truth and it's a part of who you are, it's easy.
I mean, one thing, when I cut a promo, I'm Jay Loma. I'm not Andy McCullough.
Yeah.
And not go out there and think, okay, well, for us to do anything, it's almost like you kind of split your mind because it's pretty much Jay was the character and then myself. It's just been a blown up version of myself. Basically.
Yes.
I'm a nice guy, everything else. I play out for a living, everything else. I'm in the public all the time. I'm shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever. And I am because I'm a musician. That's what I do. I'm out there entertaining. So I try to float that over into, okay, what's my, back years ago, we put this character together. Yep. It's like, okay, what's his characters? What's his strong points? So it's going to be the technical wrestler and all this kind of stuff. The good guy, the Mr. Shake Your Hand, everything else is out there. But also, I had a mean streak too. You sit there mess with me, I can have a mean streak. So when I cut a promo, it's according to what was going on. If you had attacked me, my promo was going to be vicious. You didn't attack me, you didn't piss me off.
That's right.
I'm not. If I'm going into a place, hey guys, I'm looking forward, testing myself against these fine guys you got up here in your locker room. I was going to be something like that. I was there to test myself. Now once I got in there and I knew who I was wrestling or whatever, and if I'd never wrestled a guy before, I'm not going to just go off on him or say how because I don't know him. like that. My main thing is, my best man win. I pretty much like that in one of my promos. Now, this guy's been going on, especially to be a heel. If the heel starts doing stuff to me, then we're going to start getting nasty.
That's right.
But I think too. I just don't go off on a bunch of stupid stuff. I think about, okay, what would my character think about this? What would he think?
Yep.
If this happened to him, how do I feel? How should I feel? And all like that. You just put it out there.
Well, exactly. Some people will need the confidence from the ring work before they can do the mic work. And but here's the thing with that though is that but they'll get the ring and they're confident there, but they're scared to make that transition to work on the mic stuff, because mic work, your promo work, you should be cutting by yourself in your home while you're traveling down the road. You've got to cut promos, imaginary promos.
Man, you got to remember too that they got it so easy now. This right here, your phone.
You can instantly see you doing promos.
You can cut a promo right there in your phone. Right there in your phone. And as soon as you cut that promo, you could go back and watch it. You could send it to one of us.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one of our anybody, even if it's somebody that's been wrestling for a while that's never really done promos, you can send it to one of us.
Send it to somebody you trust.
Send it to somebody you trust. Send it to Stone. Send it to me. I don't care.
Tiger says we need to make that happen for a shoot, dude. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Do a promo seminar class.
Tiger, but 100%.
It's you have to have it.
Yeah,
there's too many guys who just neglect that part of the business.
The first thing
you can't do it.
The first thing you do is you make sure. This is just me. The first thing you should do is when you're trying to somebody is to get them in the ring so they're going to stay. Then once you see if they're going to stay and they start working, then you start seeing the ring work improve like that, then you need to take them aside. Okay, now we're going to add this on to it. You need to add, when you start doing some promos. But if you see they're going to make it,
Yeah, getting promos out of people is the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to do.
It is.
You can tell them and you try to get them to do it, but it is the hardest. And look, I understand. I used to be shy, believe it or not.
Yeah.
There was a time when Big Daddy was scared of his own shadow. Now, granted, that was a very long time ago. And I wouldn't hardly say 2 words.
Yeah.
But wrestling brought that out of me.
Yeah.
Until the day that I stepped through that curtain for the very first time in Brownsville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I was scared to death, knees knocking. I thought, oh, sweet Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
This is about to be bad. I'm not ready for this. I've been training for a year and a half. Almost 2 years. I was like, I'm not ready for this. What am I even doing here? I don't know what I'm doing here. This is stupid. This is a dumb thing to do. I drove my family up there. I'm like, I can't do this. And I had on somebody else's tights, somebody else's boots. I wasn't prepared to even wrestle. And I got called by the booker and promoter and the trainer, said, I need you up here. We're short bodies and you're ready. Yeah. You've been ready. Come on up here. I'm like, dude. But the music played. I don't even know whose music it was. It was rock and roll music is all I remember. I can't remember the name of the song.
Yeah.
And because they asked me what kind of just something hard and heavy. I don't care what it was. Because I couldn't think.
Yeah.
I could not think. I was so frazzled, just so many thoughts going out in my head, right? And I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. All I can help but think is it's so far over my head right now.
Yeah.
But when I stepped through that curtain and that place cheered because I was a face, of course, because I'm newbie.
Yeah.
And they hated that guy so much. They instantly loved me. And they never seen me before. Obviously, it was my first match. But they loved me so much because that heel did such a great job at getting heat.
Mm-hmm.
They just loved me instantly. Mm-hmm. And I had a good look as far as the long hair and the tan and all that stuff goes back in the day. And, dude, I went out there and all my fear left. I felt confidence like I had never felt it my entire life.
Yeah.
Never. I've never experienced that before. I was confident going out there. I got my ass whooped the entire match. I don't think I got one move in. I might got a move in. I got my ass whooped, but I knew.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You can do this. I think you really can do it. Because I talk to myself. Me and myself have a lot of conversations. A lot of conversations. But this is one of those conversations where I just knew I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that convinced me that, I could. Because I signed a ton of autographs afterwards. Remember, I got my ass whooped.
Yeah.
I was not impressive out there. I was not impressive. I was 185 pounds at 6'4". That's skinny.
Yeah.
And so it was not impressive. But the heel did a great job. And I learned so much because of that heel. the crowd hate him so much.
Yeah. That hate him so much that
It got me over.
It was easy.
And I got to the back and said, man, good job, kid. You listened.
Yeah.
And they said, remember, that's all you ever have to do. Just listen.
Yeah.
And that's what told me before I went out, right? Just listen. I was like, okay. Because I was like one of those wild-eyed kids, like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll listen. I'll listen. Just whatever they say, just do it. Because I had no preconceived notions as far as that goes. What you do when you're training, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then when you get the call and you start going in, it's like, oh, shit. Like, oh. And so you're out there doing it. And it's like, oh, my God. And then you survive it. And you're like, that was so much fun. I just got my ass destroyed. And the fans still love me. I didn't care. My confidence level went woof. Yeah. And I have not been shy since.
If you remember, we talked about before, my first time ever in the ring, my first match.
That's right.
You trained me on the ground.
Exactly.
You trained me straight on the ground.
First time you stepped in the ring.
Yes, first time I ever stepped in the ring was with you. And it was so weird because the same thing, I guess, you got to remember, too, me being entertainment. I crowds don't bother me. Yeah,
because you've been in front of crowds.
I've done 10,
since you were, teenager, right?
Gosh, 11 years old.
That's what I mean. So you've been in front of crowds your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah. So it never, but I mean, it was different. I was like, holy crap. Now, once it was kind of weird because when I stepped in the ring, looked across and was you, like I said, you gave me my first match.
Yeah.
And I looked across and was you. I was like, everything just kind of went away. It's like, let's have fun. Let's do this. And then if you remember, I was going to have one match.
That's right.
And we didn't have enough people that night. So I think I wrestled 3 times.
That's right. And that happens. But there's nothing like trial by fire.
And I was hooked.
And that's the thing. So, and you learn, but then we're always talking about, again, what we just talked about, what I tell you.
Yeah.
Cut your promos. Give wrestling promos. Because it's not like the music thing, but you can talk because you've been in front of things. So just work on promo stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll work because we're always training. We're always going out to the ring. And stuff.
If you remember, we cut all them promos for Eureka
because
they played them on the screen.
Yes, they did.
Screen. You remember that?
We cut those at Connie's first gym.
Yes, sure did. Remember the hot tub? We did the
hot
tub
remember
ones.
About that one.
We did the hot tub ones. We did one back here.
You couldn't hardly hear anything, but it was great. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We did them because we did that. What was the one? Oh, you remember the one we did back here? I think I played out a solo or something like that. I was back in. I had the music. I had the store. I had the music store back in the day.
That's right.
That's enough. Well down like that. I stopped and did the little promo like that. But even back then, and again, like Tiger said, all we had was landlines and VHS.
Exactly.
And that's all we had.
Christy said Mick threw water in Miss Christy's face. Christy's horrible. As a matter of fact, she takes pictures for everybody. Does a great job over there. By the way, she does a great job. Yeah. Old Mick Vicious, that little punk. Mick's just trash. Mick's trash. I actually like Mick to a degree, but I don't like him over there at all because he's a different kind of person. But, whatever. But yeah. Brody can handle that business, though. Christy, he got that business handled.
I think I got to meet Mick one time, just briefly.
There's a lot of good talent out there. Vicious and Hyde,
they
make a great tag team.
Oh yeah, I'm very proud of Hyde.
Yeah, he's come a long way.
Yes, I am.
He has come a long way since his training began.
Yeah, and I got to say, I have not gotten to see yet my boy. Yeah, I've not got to see old Dread.
Oh, Dread, man. So we've been working on a lot of stuff with Dread, right? And then, of course, we brought him in with us.
Oh,
I'm like, dude.
Don't ruin him.
I'm like, bring him on.
Don't ruin him.
Let me tell you, Saturday,
you ruin my boy.
Frazier, he had kids scattered across that parking lot, full running, throwing their drinks down, candy down, ice cream down. They tore off across that parking lot. I mean, just scattered, running full out sprints. Yeah. I'm not talking about just kind of moving, but I mean, they
were gone. Huh?
Johnny looked at me, he started laughing. He was like, oh my God. I was like, dude, I know, right? We got back to back, Dredd smiling like, yeah. I was like, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you. I'm like, it's a different monster.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but for these people who say you can't, don't let anybody say you can't do it.
Yeah.
Show them. I said, because it's going to be one of those things. Like you have so. That's the thing about wrestling. You have your journey as a wrestler has so many valleys and peaks, right? And you're on a different path all through it. I mean, who knows what you're going to be from one time to the next? You're always evolving, and doing different things. And if you can't learn every aspect of the business, every aspect of professional wrestling and being a professional wrestler and what that entails, you're missing out on so much because it informs who your overall character can be.
Yeah.
Whichever side of the fence you end up on.
No,
If you understand both sides of it, you really understand the best place for you in the end is like, I can do all this stuff, but I really am here, but I'm at my best here now because I worked both sides. I get it. And it informs my work and how I carry myself. I had a dude the other day. Tell me I was an asshole. Which not first time I've heard it.
Yeah.
I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot.
It's good.
But I got tickled about it. He said, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Well, because it's true." First of all, you're not the first person to tell me that. But I got tickled. The reason I got tickled is because I was like, you know what? This is who I was when I first started. And over these last 10 years, I haven't got to be that dude, right? It's only been since I've been with OWO.
Yeah, I know. That's when it started.
And at Bluff, it started back at OWO.
Yeah.
Not at Redeemed, it started at OWO.
Yes.
For Stud getting me back down there and letting me be me, he said, I want you to be you.
I know.
I need Storm.
Yes.
I need that guy.
Yes.
I don't need this other guy. And I hated that other guy. I was not happy. And I was miserable for years.
I know that too, but I remember, I do understand.
But why it had to happen.
Why it had to happen.
And I knew that too.
And I understand why a lot of things happen down there. And that's fine. I'm not cutting that. It really was awesome.
And you had to do that.
But and matter of fact, you think about this hotel. I know you hated that character, but look, what you were smart enough to evolve.
Yes, and
to fit that down there, and that lasted for a long time.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I couldn't work with it and couldn't do it. It's just that wasn't where my passion was, right?
No, exactly.
And now that I've got to use my passion again, it's like, dude, I am, and that's what made me think about it. I was like, that's the guy that I came into the business, developed into, and loved the most.
Yeah,
that was this version y'all see now is the best version of who Big Daddy is.
Yeah,
because that's just you've got to have guys like me to have heroes.
Yeah, you do.
You just do. And that was the lesson I learned the very first night in the business when I had that very first match. You need those guys to build up your heroes. Yeah. So you have those guys who have to buck the odds and try to fight the odds to get to the top and overcome these kinds of obstacles to be the best. That's what wrestling is at its best and its most pure.
Yeah.
Is that underdog fighting against the odds, fighting against all the drama and all the hatred and the evil that guys like me are.
Yeah.
To be the best.
Yeah.
And you've got to have us to be the hero. And at the same time, and I think the best bad guys can work and create some of the best heels or faces, but the best faces also can enhance the bad guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if they buy into it and they embrace that hero role, and they work with that bad guy, dude, there ain't nothing.
Oh, I know. It's all because I always say that because I've had to work, this too, because a lot of times too, especially when we got ICWF, I wrestled a lot of green heels.
Oh my Lord!
And I had the general, and I can general from a baby, but I'd rather not. I don't want to general from a baby. I shouldn't have to.
You should not.
I've had to. You've had to too. When you were
faced, you kind of have to direct some of that.
Kind of direct. Okay, baby, cut me off.
It's like, come on, guys. Yeah, it's. But that's also the misconception, and I know we're going long today, folks. But
I know.
We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we did.
but the thing is that seeing somebody run heel is one thing.
Yeah,
doing it is something else entirely.
Exactly.
Because there is a true art form behind it.
Yeah, it is.
There is an absolute art form, and honestly, it's the same way with baby faces. I see a lot of baby faces just think, well, it's a bad guy. I just come out there and go, hey, let me smack you. The best baby faces are always firing at the crowd.
Yeah.
They're always engaged in the crowd. They're not afraid to, again, go back to the promos. They're not afraid to engage and be that. Buddy of mine, we had that conversation was, I don't like being a face because I don't know how to wrestle as a face. I'm like, you wrestle the same way you do as a heel.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He's like, but no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, the only difference is your focus.
Yeah.
Your focus is now not on the crowd. It's on your opponent.
Exactly.
But you wrestle no different. You don't cheat.
No.
That should always be a very last resort But that's the only difference. But your aggressiveness, your moveset, that's always the same. Why should that be different?
Yeah,
How you wrestle should never differ.
No, I was aggressive as crap as a baby. But then again, what few times I healed like that, I didn't change my style any. I just changed my targets.
I never changed my style. My style has always been what it is.
Yeah, I never changed.
It's just my focus shifted from the fans to the heels when I was a good guy. Like it redeemed, that's where it was the whole time.
I was more arrogant, I bet, because of me being, the technical guy, or me being a good guy, I'm just doing the moves, and coming up there, and getting the crowd behind me. I was more arrogant with it. I was more arrogant than everything else. And then left myself open for for the baby to get the best of me.
Hyde has it. As does Red pop everywhere they go, which is true. Christy always says she beat his ass about Christy Harwell up there. Chance says you're going to be a good baby face. Watch Ricky Morton, which is true. Yeah, and Ricky was always one of those fiery guys where he could bring you into it. He was always rah in the crowd, and
you got to.
People love that.
You got to rah exactly. You got to. Yep. You got to come out.
All right, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for staying around with us and getting involved in the conversation. I always love this. Is what's fun about doing the Hills and Facey show. So we are going to start doing this more. We're going to get back into our regular routine, we hope, as much as possible because it's fun to do.
It is.
It's a good time of the day to do it because everybody's working. You can listen while you're working, while you're chilling out, just whatever you're doing during the day. Sure. And we like being here with you guys. So until next time, see you guys.